All right, welcome to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton. Thank you very much for listening to us, for subscribing to us. You better be subscribing to us, because if you're not, there's going to be hell to pay this Sunday night. No. Joining us this evening, we're recording this on Tuesday night. Joining me tonight, Scotty K, SYP creator Scott. Scott, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing well. I will say I'm swamped in school, but I'm happy to take a study break and be on this unreal podcast. So like Ian said, if you don't subscribe, you are going anyways. Yeah, I'll save the rest for up for debate.
We may or may not slash your tires. That rumor is unconfirmed. It's going to be really tough for people who don't drive, who listen to this podcast. We'll have to get at you.
Just slash their bus tires, whatever bus they take. Someone's taking the 97 at UBC. A lot of people you guys know. 97 slashes tires.
I think I took that bus route one time. Is that the one that takes downtown? That you
yeah.
Go, yeah, I think I went to that. I think I used that to go to a Rockets game, and it was fucking cold by the time I got back on the way up to UBCO.
There you go.
10 out of 10 would not recommend that on a February night. First off, I have to shout out the Steve Dangle podcast. I don't know if we can call them bros. I don't know if we can call them friends, but they know who we are. They're aware of us. So pretty much, if you don't know what happened on Thursday, on their Thursday podcast, I published it on Friday, but on Thursday on their podcast, they sponsored us in their Who Wore the Crown segment, which essentially I made a donation to Sick Kids Foundation in Toronto, which is essentially like the BC Children's Hospital equivalent, to sponsor this segment and talk about Speak Your Piece. I listen to the podcast pretty frequently, so it was a no-brainer for me. And again, shout out to Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, Jesse Blake. Shout out those guys for sponsoring us, giving us a name and a place to talk about Speak Your Piece, and sharing my story too, because I'm a pretty important person, I like to think. So yeah, just a quick shout out to start the pod with them.
That was I had no idea about it. When I saw it, I was like, damn, that is super cool. And the fact that you're like, obviously donation to sick kids is super cool. And obviously I know your story very well, but some people don't. And I think, there's a lot to applaud on that. So good on you for doing that and getting that support. And we're only getting bigger. So go SYP.
We might have to be a Maple Leafs podcast, since I think like they're technically a Maple Leafs podcast and they recruit a lot of Toronto listeners, so we might have to turn into a Maple Leafs podcast.
Let's be real. We're a Vancouver Canucks podcast, but
we're not a Canucks podcast. We're not a Canucks podcast. We are a hockey. We're like a sports pod that touches on hockey, mostly talk about Canucks. Sometimes talk about Canucks.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's our fan base, though. We have to remember that's most of
that's our demo here in Vancouver. Yep. Well, I'm based in Vancouver. You're in BC. In BC, that's kind of our demo, except for like the 3 people who follow us in Alberta. But I should also mention, speaking of Canucks, I posted my top 3 favorite Canucks on the SYP Instagram story. And I got a little bit of hate for that, because so I put Thatcher Demko as my number 3 with a question mark. Like the third one is kind of like up in the, like I have my 2, Quinn Hughes, Niels Hoglander. Those are my 2.
I'm honestly surprised. I saw this. I'm surprised you didn't have Miller there, who's American and he's actually a beast.
But JT Miller's so obvious.
So who cares?
I like to have guys who are like a little under the radar, and then I put Quinn Hughes number 1. But
yeah, he's not under the radar by any means.
Someone, I think it was Katie Reddy, who said, "Why isn't Brock the number 3? Why isn't Brock on the list?" And I'm like, Brock can be on the list. He's also American. I like Brock. I think he's a great player. I think he leads the team in scoring too, by the way.
Leads the team in goals, at least.
He leads the team in goals. And I said, Brock can make my list if we have a puppy play date. Caslow and his dog. Is his dog Phoebe? There's a bunch of them who have cute dogs. And
yeah, Bo's got a French bulldog, I think.
Troy Stetcher had
he's in Detroit.
He's in Detroit, but
we're talking about Vancouver Canucks.
Anyways, I'm just saying, Brock Besser, he can be my favorite Canuck if we have a puppy play date one time. So just willing that into existence. Speaking of Canadian teams, I have a hot take for you because we're gonna
Yeah.
start. We're gonna start with the Ottawa Senators.
What's your hot take? Bring us
So
the heat.
I have been kind of saying this for like a couple days now, but I think the Senators are the most fun team in Canada.
To watch.
Just in general, like the general vibe of the team is fun.
Okay.
And I have 3 reasons why. I have laid out 3 reasons why I think.
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
So one, I think the Senators have some really great prospects playing for them right now. Obviously, your boy Stützle is just killing it. He had a nasty backhand pass to, was it Batherson the other night?
Batherson, that was too nice, man. That was ridiculous.
And that kid's 19, like he's younger than us, and he's pulling that move against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Never mind
Morgan Riley, but anyways, whatever. It's not Muzzin. Whatever.
Brady Tkachuk obviously is really fucking good.
We know you're a simp for him. Okay.
I'm a simp for Brady Tkachuk. Drake Batherson actually is really good too. Josh Norris, I've really liked the last few games.
Yeah.
Thomas Chabot obviously is really good. Like the Joey Decord story is really cool as well.
Yeah, that was I watched the game. Super cool. He played very well. He shut down their. He more or less kept the Leafs. Well, okay, the team played a really good defensive game, but the fact that he made saves when he needed to was huge. And all the goals he gave up were like he was literally like swimming in the net, and there's nothing he could have done.
And I wanted to say, like, this team has a bunch of great prospects, Decord being one of them. So they have a lot of good players that are fun to watch.
Yeah.
That are still growing, still improving, still getting better.
Oh, for sure. And the thing, you mentioned Batherson. Batherson is a guy that I think gets slept on way too much. He could almost be a first-line winger on some team. Put him with a good center and a good winger, man, that kid can score. I think you guys remember watching 2018 World Juniors.
He
was automatic in that tournament. He scored so many goals.
And part of that wasn't he playing like a bottom 6 role on that team?
Yes, he was. He was third line.
Yeah. Third line, and I think people kind of just thought he was a bit of a bust and he was a bit slow to develop, and because of his role with World Juniors and because of, how can he make Ottawa? But I mean, I love Batherson. Like, that kid's obviously really good. Alex Formenton was on that team.
He's still in Belleville. He's not even on the team, but he'll be good too. Yeah.
He should be good as well. So Ottawa, really fun prospects. I like their prospects.
They have a bright future for sure, especially if they can find a dominant starting goalie that isn't named Matt Murray. I think they're going to be sitting pretty for sure because they got prospects everywhere else but in the net.
So that goes kind of to my second thing. This team had little to no expectations. So when
they have nothing to lose. They have literally nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose. So when they go on a losing streak, it isn't a major catastrophe like it is for every other Canadian team that has gone on a losing streak this year.
Yeah, because we know they're not going to win games. They're not going to win a lot of games. They definitely will make the playoffs, and that was something we said from the very top from our preview show. And it's just not going to happen. But they can play spoiler. They can develop the young guys, give them some ice time, give them some experience that way. And it's that the Sens fans got to know that, and it's working out well. So.
Well, that's just it. They're not crushed by overwhelming expectations. Like, this team can just go out and just play and have fun, and it doesn't matter. And sometimes you beat the Maple Leafs like you did on Sunday night, but then you lose the Canucks like you did on Monday night. It just, you're not crushed by expectations. It's not that big of a deal if you lose. So that's why I like this team not having the expectations. And they are smiling. Like, they look like they're having fun too. Like, they look like they enjoy playing with one another.
Yeah. I think there's a good room there. I think they're really we can talk about Buffalo later, but I think you just compare, there's just such animosity in Buffalo, and Ottawa's I guess Buffalo's different because they expected to be playing better and winning. Ottawa didn't have those expectations. They have some veterans that are there just, helping the young kids. I think the veteran guys are kind of they really appreciate being able to bring those guys up and kind of lead them and help them become bona fide NHLers. And I think credit to Pierre Dorian. People are giving him a lot of shit in the last few years for how he's handled the team, trading away some of their assets like Stone, Hoffman, some of their young up and coming good players.
Pajot
was another one too. But again, good for him for really giving hard reset. Get some prospects. Schützler's going to be fantastic. And again, they're going to get another high pick this year. So maybe they take Jesper Wallstedt like 4th or 5th overall.
Sure. Yeah. I wouldn't have any problem with that. That makes a ton of sense.
Neither would I. That's kind of what I'm thinking might happen.
So my third reason for the Senators being the most fun team in Canada, the Sickos meme is the best thing in hockey right now. If you don't,
the song with Keith Yandel, that's come on.
No. Sickos is 10 times better than Zonk. 100%. That's not even a debate. No, because here's the thing. So Sickos, if you don't know what that is, so essentially, where I first saw it anyways, Sean McAdoo, who works for The Athletic in Canadian, was talking about the Senators being, I think it was on Twitter. He talked about the Senators being a team that is like caused coaching firings, and, they've kind of just been this, ruin everybody else's season type team, right? So
yeah, sure, that makes sense.
So with that, somebody replied to Sean McAdoo. Somebody replied with the the Sickos meme of the guy, but he's wearing Ottawa gear. And he's saying, yes, ha, 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 yes. And like Sean, I think, retweeted it. And now it's like the biggest thing in Ottawa, biggest thing in hockey almost. And they have put all of these sicko people behind the visitors' penalty box, which you saw on Sunday against the Maple Leafs.
I did see that, yeah.
And then DJ Smith in the post-game interview, when asked about this, DJ Smith was like, yeah, it's pretty great. Yes. Yeah. Like this is so fun. It's literally just an internet joke, an internet meme that is taken off. And
it's kind of like just stupid humor. Like, it shouldn't be funny, but it is.
It is. It's total Gen Z humor. And it's just work, and it's funny, and it's the Senators of all teams. And it's awesome. Like the Sickos meme, that's got to be up there at like best thing in hockey right now. Without a doubt, in my money.
But anyways, yeah, that's a good story, and I think it makes, again, that's part of what we talked about before. Like the room's light in Ottawa, and there isn't a lot of like animosity. Like the guys don't pay each other. There's a collective, like, I don't know. They're just happy to be there, and they're happy to come work hard, and they're gonna upset some teams because they are up and coming, and they're gonna have some nights like they did on Sunday, and they're gonna play a full 60 minutes and lock down the best team in the NHL, and the North at least.
Bonus points for the Ottawa Senators because they went back to their old logo, and they have decent jerseys this year.
Their jerseys are nasty. I like the black as their home. They're like their actual home jerseys.
Yes, their reverse retros are okay, but middle of the pack. But I mean, their actual home and away jerseys, when they went back to the jersey when they went to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, they're OG. Yeah, they actually are sick for sure.
So that's why the Ottawa Senators are the most fun team in Canada.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I think, like you said, they have some fun pieces. I love Stützle. I love Batherson. Chabot's always obviously good. Maybe he'll win a Norris at some point. Maybe not this year, but he'll win a Norris at some point for sure.
Anyway, so let's move on to our next topic, the Calgary Flames and Daryl Sutter. So the Flames are 3-0 since Sutter took over. I said last night, because our buddy Bradley asked us about the Flames, and I said last night, this team doesn't actually really look that different to me. They still look like a good team who's just been playing their role. They don't do anything. They don't do anything great, but they don't do anything bad. Like, they're a very average. They do a lot of things well, but not as great as you want them to be.
Well, here's the thing with the Flames now, and it's hard to notice. I watched clips of a game a couple nights ago, and they're different in the way that they're just now that much more harder to play against, and that's making the difference. Is before they were letting shots through, they're letting guys into the middle of the slot. It's just not. They're clogging up the middle. There's nothing happening. All the shots are coming from the outside. And when you have a goalie like Markstrom in that, like, good luck. You're not getting the puck by very easily. And they're like, you noticed it in the game. I remember in the Battle of Alberta game. I think it was either this weekend or the weekend before Sutter was like brought in, like formally. Like they worked their ass off that game. They were like throwing bodies, and it looked like a playoff game. And I think that's translated to a bit of their success, and that they've been working that much harder because they're they're trying to prove to their coach that player deserves to be there, but also the fact that these players like need, there are good players there, and they need to be coached properly. And that's what Brad and I talked about. It's like all the coaches up to I totally forget his name, Sutter, coming in, like up until that, they weren't proven coaches. Jeff Word, Glenn Gulletson, Bob Hartley, none of these guys are really proven coaches like in the NHL. Brent Sutter is like not Brent Sutter.
Daryl Sutter, but I have a great Brent Sutter story I could tell at another time. But Daryl Sutter, anyways.
Daryl Sutter, yeah. So Daryl Sutter, he's bona fide NHL, like two-time Stanley Cup winner with Los Angeles, and I think probably another team as well. It
was just LA. He won both cups with LA.
Yeah, just LA. So, like, he's the first bona fide coach the team's had it probably since Brad was in like elementary school, which is like 6-7 years ago now. So that's not even a hot take. That's a fact.
That's probably true. So I have some stats for you.
Bring it.
The Flames are 3-0 since Sutter took over. They beat the Oilers last night 4-3.
Yeah.
They have not trailed since he took over.
Really? They've been tied, obviously, but haven't trailed.
Tied, but never trailed.
Okay. That's
since Sutter took over. And as of this recording, again, Tuesday night, currently 2 points back of Montreal for the final playoff spot. Habs have an extra game in hand. It just seems like I know watching last night against Edmonton or watching Monday. Again, they just seem to be playing their roles better. Like they just seem like they just seem to like they know what they're doing. And
I think like I said before, it's more about they're being coached better and their players being coached properly, and they're playing the roles they should. And I think you nailed it on the head. They're playing how they should. And I think we mentioned that they'd be like a bubble playoff team.
Yeah, they're definitely a fringe playoff team. I think I had them making the playoffs. But I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it continues. I think the Flames have the talent to be a playoff team. Sutter might just will this team into being a playoff team, but I mean,
their defense core is very good, and they have they're really built well, like in net and also on the back end. Their forward group is questionable. As a whole, Kachuk's good, Dubé's good, Lindholm's good. Outside of that, it's very like.
I just wanted to also say they spent a whole bunch of money in the offseason, like between Markstrom and Tanev. Like there is kind of that incentive to go and win right now. Like it will very much be a disappointment if they follow up last year's stinker to Dallas by spending a whole bunch of money this offseason, firing a coach, and still missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you there for sure.
So we'll see about the Flames. Again, they'll make the playoffs because I got a Blasty jersey, so I have to say that. I'm obligated to say that they'll make the playoffs, but
get your Kachuk number on there, buddy.
Yeah, we'll get that on there soon, or maybe Dustin Wolf if he gets the starting gig. You
want to put Wolfie on the back?
Maybe we'll put a Wolfie on the back. Another team I want to talk about is the Vegas Golden Knights, because
we don't talk about them enough.
I think you had them at least making the finals, if not winning the cup this year.
They're winning the cup.
They're winning the cup.
They're going to be Billy in 6 games.
So they're first in the Honda West division right now.
Not a surprise.
Shout out Honda. They have a plus 28 goal differential, which again, as of Tuesday night, is second best in the league. Tampa Bay has 35. And Fleury, Marc-Andre Fleury, has been a Vezina, if not a Hart Trophy contender with how he's played this season.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't say hard, but Vezina for sure.
I mean, dude has a .936 save percentage, a .177 goals against average, 15-5 record. But his road record is even more impressive. He's 7-3 on the road, .942 save percentage on the road, 3 shutouts on the road. I mean, I might I might be looking at Marc-Andre Fleury differently. We'll discuss some more Vezina candidates later on, but Marc-Andre Fleury deserves some more credit than what he's got.
For sure. I think there's, you got to appreciate a guy that is as old as he is. He's what, 35, 36 now? He's getting up.
And very much written off, I think, by quite a few people after last season. Like, I think we all thought that Robin Lehner was going to be the guy.
Well, again, you have to remember, in Vegas, they have two elite goaltenders. Lehner's, I would consider elite, and Fleury's been elite since he came in the league, really, in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been terrific, and he's had years where he hasn't been great. People are like, oh, Fleury's done, his career's over, like, this guy's gonna be a backup now. It's not the case. He's a talented goaltender, and man, that guy likes Las Vegas.
The look back on Marc-Andre Fleury's career is going to be really fascinating when we look back on his career, and people remember when he was with Pittsburgh and they were having the struggles against Columbus in that one playoff series, and people were like, this guy's dude, and this dude can't play anymore. Like, this guy's not a prime time performer. You need to get rid of him. Yeah. And Matt Murray comes along and the whole shebang. But I mean, Fleury has just been incredible. I can't say enough about Marc-Andre Fleury and his performance this year.
Oh, he's terrific. Yeah. Oh, for sure. And again, it helps that he's on a very good team that is very well built. Mm-hmm. However, he still have to stop pucks, and he's been doing that. Like you said, he's got a .935 plus save percentage, better on the road. Like that, man, that top 3, top 4, if you include Minnesota in the West Division, is going to be entertaining.
I mean, also kudos to Vegas. They have 3 guys with at least 10 goals this season in Pacioretty.
Let me name them: Pacioretty, Stone, and Carlson.
Nope.
Marchessault.
Nope.
Smith. Riley Smith.
Nope.
Really?
Alex Tuch has 13 goals for Vegas this season. If you picked up Alex Tuch in fantasy hockey this year, you should be winning your league. There is no excuse for you not to be winning your league.
You've done something, unless you drafted him in the first 5 rounds. Then you're like,
yeah,
that's a good pick. He's just always. Ever since I remember there's a Shubu in Minnesota where he like tucked it between his legs and he like dragged it all the way around the goalie. He was Minnesota at the time, and people were like, okay, this guy's like got sick hands and he's big but he can't skate. But turns out he can skate and he's pretty good. And he's been a very good player on the third line of Las Vegas since their Cup final run.
I mean, again, like we talked about at the beginning of the year, it's cup or bust with them. Like they
for sure.
Yeah, they need to be going to the finals this year. If they aren't in the finals this year, that's going to be a very disappointing performance.
I think if they don't get out of the second round, it'll be disappointing. If they get to the third round and but you're right. No, you're right. They should be at the cup final realistically.
Any other hockey NHL teams, players you want to mention or shout out this week?
I mean, I mentioned quickly touched on Buffalo. We can get into them another pod, or maybe we'll get them at the end of the season. But man, I don't want to say it, the F-bomb, but what a train wreck in that town.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Taylor Hall tonight, took a slap shot to the face.
I did not see that.
He got hurt, but he came back. Jack Eichel's out. So the Sabres, how many losses have the Sabres had in a row?
I think it's 11 or 12 now.
They lost to New Jersey tonight, so it's 12. And that's without
they should be in that division.
And Heischer's out for 3 weeks, so he didn't even play tonight.
Captain Nico Hischier.
Yes, Captain Nico Hischier. Also, I should shout out my Detroit Red Wings, who defeated the Carolina Hurricanes Tuesday night 4-2. We are now the best team in the league. No doubt about it.
Of course, yeah.
Well, we beat Tampa on Thursday, and then we beat Carolina tonight. So, I mean, two of the last 3 games ended in dubs against arguably 2 of the best teams in the league. Philip Hronek finally scored his first goal of the season tonight. Empty netter, actually, but he scored his first goal of the season. Go Wings. Haters gonna hate.
My Ducks wore the reverse retros for the first time this season.
Actually, I
was gonna see, what are your thoughts on that?
I was gonna save that for good, bad, or insert adjective here, but I thought.
Save it.
All right, we'll save that for later. Any other hockey related? I mean, I should mention hockey related. The Everett Silvertips, the WHL, is back in the U.S. this weekend.
Yeah.
The Silvertips.
I guess starting in BC pretty soon as well.
I have to check. I'll check the schedule right now. But yeah, they're going to be starting in BC pretty soon. They've already been playing in Regina because that's where the hub is for the Central Division. The East Division, excuse me. The Central's in Alberta. The Central, they've just been going from place to place, playing among teams. March 26th, I believe, is
for BC.
BC.
Cool.
And yeah, East they're in Regina, Central they're traveling. The US are going to be traveling all around from place to place. And then the BC, they're going to be their hubs are in Kelowna and Kamloops. So go check out some WHL hockey. Go check out, Dub hockey if you get the opportunity. Obviously, virtually, nobody can go to games, but go check it out virtually.
On your local Shaw Network.
Oh, we're going back that far? Shaw Network?
I think they're still on there when they're running. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. They haven't been on Shaw in years.
Anyways.
A peak Shaw moment for me was watching the Silvertips beat Kelowna in Kelowna on Shaw. It was the rare game where they had an American team on Shaw.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
They didn't usually do that, but they did
hey,
this time.
now you work for them, so you get their games access for free anyways. So.
I do. Yeah. I also got a sweet media discount for the actual WHL TV itself, for the WHL Live. I got a sweet media discount. So
we might have to watch whatever their Mem Cup's going to look like.
I can't see them doing a Mem Cup or a
well, doing like some sort of like championship-ish type. No?
I mean, that would be that would be a really big step for Canada, is if we did a championship type thing. I feel like for the Mem Cup. It was supposed to take place in either, I believe, Oshawa or Sault Ste. Marie. I think it was one of those.
I think Sioux was 21. I think you're right. Yeah.
Anyways, shout out the Dub. Who knows when the OHL is going to start playing again? And I think the Q might be back already. If they aren't, they're going to come back soon.
I think they're already going. I think they've been going for the whole time, or for a lot of the time at least.
Yeah, for a lot of the time they've been going. So go check out the Silvertips. Go check out the Dub. They'll be kicking off this weekend. Should we move on to some March Madness?
Yeah, let's go talk basketball.
Let's talk basketball. March Madness. It's been 24 fucking months since we've had a March Madness tournament.
So you're going insane, basically, is what you're saying to me.
I didn't know I needed March Madness until I saw the selection show on Sunday. I was like, March Madness, this could be interesting this year. Who knows how this goes? And I saw
we had March Madness last year. It just wasn't on the basketball floor. It was a different type of March Madness. Yeah, exactly. But then, then I saw Gonzaga will be playing Norfolk State or Appalachian State. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know. I need this. Please give me more. So yeah, March Madness this weekend. Again, be sure to take part in the SYP March Madness Challenge. Basically, you just have to send us a bracket, your digital link or your photos of your printed version, whatever. Just send us a bracket, a copy of your bracket with your name on it. Please put your name on it.
With your name. Yeah. Please follow SYP College if you can. We'd love it if you please follow SYP College. If you don't tag two friends, at least share it in your story. Just promote the brand. This is all what it's for. And the winner gets a case of White Claws. And if you're in an inconvenient location for myself to get you White Claws, I'll just e-transfer you the equivalent. So essentially, this is going to be a great SYP March Madness tournament where the winner gets White Claws. We get to watch sports. We get to have friendly wagering with one another. It's pretty lit.
Hey, it's the March content we were looking for sure. We're I think viewers don't know that we're taking a couple weeks off here for finals and school stuff, but that will be our running content, if you will. So watch March Madness, follow your bracket. Hopefully you're right. So
I got my bracket.
So how are you determining a winner?
So basically we do a point system.
Okay.
As I put in the original post. So essentially you get 10 points for every game you get right in the first round.
First round, yep.
20 points for the second round, 40 points for the third round. It basically just doubles each round. It gets to the point where I think it's like 320 points if you pick the national champion.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of points, people.
That's a lot of points. So basically it's a point system that I have created. And essentially if you pick the national championship like team, you get 320 points. That's kind of what we're all playing for the most part. You might be lucky with like the first round games, but the real play is for the national championship.
For sure, yeah, and that's what everyone's gonna get a gun for, of course. But I think there's a lot of games like in the second, third round, it's gonna be very hard because sometimes you'll get like upsets in the first and second round, and then your third round matchup doesn't even happen.
Yeah,
like the one you predicted. That's the thing. So that's the thing. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens there for sure.
I trying to think before we talk more about March Madness, we actually preview it. Two things. I think my peak of March Madness was two different times. I had two different peaks for March Madness. The first was in 2018, the year we graduated.
2018, yep.
The year we graduated, where we did brackets among one another.
Oh, right. Yes, I do remember that.
And I was undefeated up until we left school that day on the Friday.
Oh, right. Because it started on a Thursday, didn't it? So
yes.
You had like a perfect bracket, and you were hyped up, and then you left mad.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was cool. And then also I attended March Madness in 2013, I think it was, in San Diego. I'm going to pull that up. I went to San Diego to watch the Arizona Wildcats and Weber State University.
Weber State.
Where Damian Lillard went to. Yeah,
right. Of course.
And then I also saw.
He's a good basketball player. He's okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I didn't see Damian Lillard, obviously. I just saw his team that he used to play for. And then I saw Marcus Smart and his Oklahoma State Cowboys play Gonzaga, I think it was.
That'd be a good matchup.
That was a good matchup. 2014, sorry.
I remember watching Kemba Walker with UConn. I remember he basically carried that team to the end, to the champion. Didn't they win? No.
UConn lost, I think, to Kentucky.
But they went to the final, and they were like a middle seed. They shouldn't have gone anywhere. But they were, Kemba Walker.
Oh no, UConn beat Kentucky.
They did, yeah. Okay,
that was the same year. That was the same year. I think.
Yeah, Kemba Walker was sick, and he crossed up everyone. He knocked down every clutch shot you could. I remember that was like one of the first ones I ever watched, and that was so lit. Same with when I think Villanova won that last second, like the little chip handoff shot, and then drain it, and the bench goes nuts. They that was I think 2016 or 17.
Yeah, no, I want to say it was 2016.
Okay.
But I mean, there's been that's the whole thing about March Madness, that there's so many great moments, and
it's spectacular.
That's why it's one of the best tournaments, and I totally forgot that I needed it until I saw the selection show. So all right, let's discuss 6 teams. Sure. that we want to win. 6 teams that you want to win. Yeah. I'll start with you first.
And again, I'll be honest though, it's just full disclaimer. I haven't done a whole lot of research, just been busy with other things, but I just have 6 teams that have kind of stuck out to me. I'm like, these guys might have a shot. I've got.
So are these 6 teams that you think are going to win, or that you want to win?
That I want to win. There's also a bit of I guess there's not really any thought to it. There's just 6 teams that really caught my eye when I looked at the bracket. So start off with my boys, my Oregon Ducks, 7th seed in the west part of the bracket. I think they're going to be a sleeper team. I think they're going to upset. I'm not sure who the 2nd seed on that side is.
Iowa.
I don't know if they'll beat Iowa because they got a guy named Luka Garza who we'll save for later. I'm saving him for later. I've got to chat about him, but I like Oregon. They're gonna. I don't know. I just like the Oregon Ducks. Virginia, University of Virginia is my 2nd pick. They're the 4th seed in the West bracket as well.
I here's the thing. I don't like Virginia, Partially because they are the team that lost to UMBC. Like as a 1 seed, they lost to UMBC as UMBC as a 16 seed, and then they won the national title the year after.
They did.
And it was like, yeah, we're national champions. And it's like, yeah, but you're also the team that as a 1 seed, you lost to a 16 seed, which has never happened before in the history of March Madness. So,
hey, total roster turnover at this point. So totally different team.
Yes, totally different team. But I'm just,
anyway,
that's my Virginia hate.
There you go. They're the 4th seed in the West. If they win their matchup, they're probably going to play Gonzaga and get shredded, but we'll see what happens. Or no, if they win their first, they'll lose to Gonzaga. Yeah, anyways, Gonzaga doesn't come out of that bracket. Anyways, let's move to the South. We'll move very south. We'll talk Florida. Florida Gators. Yeah, they've.
Ooh.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on them?
Florida? You're rooting for a Florida team?
I wouldn't say I'm rooting for them, but they just caught my eye. They're a team of interest. How about that?
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair enough.
I've got 2 7 seeds here. I'm banking on these 7 seeds to do
some damage. Wow, okay.
Yeah. 7's a good safe spot to be because they should beat the 10 seed. And the second seeds are always like sometimes fuzzy, you know? You know what I'm saying?
All right. I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from.
You see what I'm getting at? Yeah. So okay, anyways, enough about 7 seeds. Then we're gonna go to Villanova, who I talked about, just briefly mentioned their game winner, and they won the championship 2017 or 18, I think it was.
They won like within the last 5 years. Villanova
last 5 years, yeah. Since we were in high school.
They actually, Jay Wright, really smart coach. Like Jay Wright's one of the smartest coaches, and they've had some good recruiting talent coming.
They're always well coached.
Yeah,
I found they're always like fundamentally super sound.
Yeah.
Whenever I've watched their games specifically, it's only a few, but I remember they're always solid. And there's two teams in the East that caught my eye. Michigan, number 1 seed. Hard to bet against the Wolverines. They're probably favorites to win this year.
They're up there. They're up there.
Up there with Gonzaga and what's the other team?
Probably Baylor. Baylor.
Yeah. My other team's at Alabama football school, 2nd seed in an NCAA March Madness tournament. Who knew? They're a football school, but they're here on my list. So go Crimson Tide, I guess. Roll Tide.
Are you planning to party at the University of Alabama at some point? Like, I'm
planning to never go to Alabama if I don't have to.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's not the take I was expecting from you.
Actually, no. I would go check out Alabama. It seems like a pretty dope campus. But
my buddy Ian got in a bit of trouble at the University of Alabama. I don't think he listens to the podcast, but he got in a bit of trouble at the University of Alabama. So.
Are you allowed to tell us for what?
So it involved marijuana.
Okay. Yeah.
It involved marijuana.
It's something
which is, not that it's here's the thing. It's not that bad here where we are in Canada. It's just in Alabama. It's not
legal,
not very acceptable to be doing the marijuana in Alabama. And those are your teams then?
Those are my 6. Like, I wouldn't say they're my favorites or like picks to win. They're my teams of interest. Teams that are like, yeah.
So, I guess my teams of interest. I'm going with Gonzaga.
Okay, of course.
Because I'm from Washington State. I'm not Catholic, but I do feel the perpetual need to promote or root for Gonzaga. Never been to a Gonzaga game. I've been to Spokane, which that's where Gonzaga is located. So I couldn't imagine what a national championship would be like in Spokane. That would be kind of weird. I got Michigan because obviously it's actually a really cool story. Juwan Howard is the head coach of Michigan basketball. He was on the Fab Five team. The last time actually Michigan was a number 1 seed, which this year, the last time that happened was when Howard was on the Fab Five team.
Who else was on the team?
Chris Webber, Jalen Rose.
Wow.
It's if you aren't familiar with Fab Five, if you aren't familiar with like Michigan basketball in the early 90s, I implore you to go check it out. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, I'd say Juwan Howard and Jalen Rose was a big part of the Pacers for a couple of years. And Chris Webber.
Sacramento,
not a Hall of Famer, but he's probably could be or should be.
Yeah.
Borderline. Anyways.
Borderline. So Gonzaga, Michigan. I went with Alabama too, just because they're actually like Nate Oates is their head coach. He's actually a really solid coach. This team looks to be like a really solid team in terms of just being fundamentally smooth, talent all over the place. I don't know. I mean, they're a really interesting pick to win it all, but I don't see it happening. I don't know if the if the slipper fits with Alabama. I have Syracuse as a team to watch. They're an 11th seed.
Oh, they're gonna upset their 6th seed.
So the reason I am going back to my 90s Big East roots with the Syracuse Orangemen, because they always play this 2-3 zone that just confuses the hell out of teams when it comes to like March and like the tournament. Like it's like teams have never seen the 2-3 zone before and they struggle against it, even like the Duke teams of before. So I got to go Syracuse. I don't know why. I just Syracuse. Number 4, my 4th team of interest is Texas Tech. I met one of their assistant coach, Ulrich Milagi. I have to search up what his name is. He was their assistant coach at Texas A&M. He was the assistant coach at Texas A&M when they came to Vancouver 2 years ago.
I remember that. For the little bubble tournament, right?
Yeah, for that little bubble tournament. And that dude was the nicest dude to me. Like he sat and chatted with me. He talked to me. We talked about life. He offered to get me coffee. Wow. It was like one of the coolest experiences. He did everything short of giving me a scholarship to Texas A&M. Gave me his card. I have his Texas A&M card somewhere around here.
Gotta get some merch. Some A&M merch, dude.
Well, now it's Texas Tech. Now I have to go root for Texas Tech because he's assistant to Texas Tech.
Gotcha.
So I got the Red Raiders. Also, Patrick Mahomes' alma mater, Texas Tech. That I'm throwing out there. Another team I'm interested in is Arkansas.
Okay, the Razorbacks.
Bill Clinton's home state. Arkansas. The Arkansas back in the day in like the 90s, I can't remember what their coach is. They had another good, I want to say it was like a 30 for 30 doc, but it might not have been 30 for 30. It might have been one of their smaller documentaries ESPN did, where they talked about in the 90s how they played like the full press for 48 minutes, like nonstop on your ass all the time, and how it made them react as a team and as a group. Really cool story. I don't know why. So
you have to have a really deep bench for that, man. That'd be hard.
I know.
Imagine being a player. You're playing full court press all game long. Like brutal.
Yeah. So I got Arkansas as just a team to watch. And then, is that my 6? Yeah. What do I have? One more. Sorry, one more. Sorry, I can't count. I leave that to Scott. My one more team I have of interest is Baylor.
Okay. So a bunch of number 1 seeds you have.
I have 3 number 1 seeds, 1 number 2 seed, 1 number 6 seed, and 1 number 11 seed. Just teams to watch, teams that are interesting to me.
I like it.
Really excited. I'm just so jittery because there's so many fun teams, and Baylor is a low key threat to win it all, even though they're a 1 seed. They're
like slept on as a 1 seed.
Yeah.
I would say Michigan, Gonzaga, and
so right now I'm just looking at the Bodog odds for winning it all. Gonzaga has the best odds at plus 215.
Fitting. That's low.
Which is very generous.
No kidding.
Illinois is at plus 400.
That's what it is.
Baylor at plus 700. Michigan at 10-1.
Okay. So
Alabama at 22-1.
Okay.
Arkansas at 60-1. Arkansas.
There's 60-1.
60-1. Arkansas to win it all.
Wow.
Anyway,
what are the lowest odds?
What
are the lowest odds?
Lowest odds. So we're going way down here. Texas Southern at 750-1.
Okay.
Same with Norfolk State, Mount St. Mary's, and App State.
Oh, your boys, App State.
My boys, App State, are in it. Well, here's the thing. I didn't want to get too stoked on App State. Like, obviously, I'm rooting for them to beat Norfolk State, but essentially, they play their first round game and then they get to meet up with Gonzaga.
Yeah, they're playing to face the juggernaut, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. That's essentially what you're doing. You're essentially playing to face a number one seed in the country. Players of interest for you? Is there any college guys that you're?
To be honest, I didn't.
Luka Garza.
Luka Garza was the guy. He's a center for Iowa. 24-9-2. That kind of blew my for a college. That's like nuts. That's ridiculous. So, he'll be on Iowa. They're 2 seed. They're in the West, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to be matching up potentially with your Oregon Ducks.
Well, they're probably going to beat the Oregon Ducks, unfortunately. But
don't sell out hope now.
I'm not going to. I said they probably will. I don't think they will, but there was a pretty good chance that Iowa's going to beat them. And then Luka Garza will have a lot to do with that. So he's big center, big presence in the post. Again, put up 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists through the year. He'll be a threat, that's for sure.
I'm going to say Cade Cunningham of Oklahoma State, where everybody just seems to be talking about him.
Right.
Apparently. I mean, I think the dude's good, but I don't know. I don't know if he's NBA ready. So Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State. Do you want to say who your national championship is? Who's going to be playing in it, or who do you think's going to win, or do you want to save that for later?
I'll save it for later. I'll save it for my bracket. Well, I haven't done enough research to properly make my picks yet. So it's
you don't need to. That's the thing about March Madness. You literally just got to fill out a piece of paper, and you're an expert. That's all it is.
I haven't done it quite yet, but I would say preliminary picks. Michigan versus oh my gosh. Michigan versus Illinois in the final.
Ooh, that would be really fun. A nice Big Ten matchup.
Yeah, and I have Michigan winning it.
Ooh.
That would be my like preliminary picks right now.
That would be one of like the best, I think, like best outcomes for like March Madness would be, I think, either like Michigan or Gonzaga winning.
Yeah.
I feel like they would like that would be like.
So you think whoever of the 1 seeds comes out of that side of the bracket is going to win the NCAA championship? Division 1.
Do you want me to say who I have winning it? I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So my final 4, I have Gonzaga playing Michigan,
okay,
and I have Baylor playing Illinois. I have
all the 1 seeds. You know that's not going to happen, right?
It might.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Anyways, okay, you have four 1 seeds.
I have Gonzaga playing Illinois in the final, and I have Gonzaga winning it all.
Cool.
Do you want to hear what my best upset is, or my biggest upset is?
Yeah, bring it. Why don't you be a 15 seed against a 2?
It is. I have Grand Canyon beating Iowa in the first round matchup.
I've heard about Grand Canyon. Actually, people are saying they're like the best, like low seed to upset someone. Like
the Grand Canyon story is actually really cool because they used to be like a private school, and now they've gone and they've like basically built their school on private money, and now they're becoming a public school, a publicly funded school. And all the renovations they did like to their arena and trying to recruit players and upgrade facilities. Yeah. It's a really cool story.
And they're based in Arizona, right?
I think they're based in Phoenix. They're not based in like Flagstaff or anything. By the way, Grand Canyon, their name is also the Antelopes, and I can't hate on a team whose name is the Antelopes. They play in Phoenix.
Cool.
They also have like one of the most like hype environments. I'm sure you've seen like Grand Canyon student section. It's actually pretty lit in normal times.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't, but I'll have to go watch a video later. Go watch him. Go. People, viewers listening, go check out Grand Canyon.
Go Antelopes. Go Mountaineers. App State. We are App State. Go Gonzaga. Go Michigan. I don't know any chance of Gonzaga. Go Blue for Michigan.
Just go March Madness.
Roll Tide. Go Sports.
Go Sports.
Go Sports.
Go.
Any other March Madness or any other basketball?
Bring it on. Fucking right. I'm excited. I'm not going to watch much, but I'll try to watch what I can. And I always remember this time, like in high school, like this was spring break. So like we had nothing. We didn't have school. We could watch basketball all day if we wanted to.
We didn't have the responsibility. I remember one year, I think I had a party at my house for like one spring break, or maybe it was the Friday of a spring break. And I feel
maybe.
And we were watching like a March Madness game, but no one else was like, there was only like a few of us that were actually interested. We were in my basement because obviously March Madness isn't as big up here as it is down in the States. And I think it was the Northern Iowa-Texas game. And I think it was Northern Iowa who hit the game winner. And I'm like, my brother and I are like stunned, like, holy shit, half quarter for Northern Iowa to win. And everybody's just like, what happened? It's like, you don't understand. You don't get
what is basketball?
What is sports?
Anyways.
Anything else you want to talk about, or should we move on to our games?
Let's do our favorite game segment of every week.
Let's do good, bad, or insert adjective here. It's not sponsored yet, but if you're looking to sponsor anything of the Speak Your Piece podcast,
that would be like the part to do. Yeah,
you should sponsor insert good, bad, or insert adjective here.
Or the mailbag. We could get the mailbag sponsor too. That'd be dope.
I should contact UPS and see if they want to sponsor the mailbag. That would actually be a really cool segment.
Why not like FedEx or Purelator? What's wrong with them?
I mean, I just wanted to support the postal service, but.
Oh, like the USPS?
Yeah, USPS. Is that?
I thought you said UPS. I was like,
oh, maybe I did.
Anyways,
just sponsor us. Cool. Scott, do you have your 3 good, bad, or insert adjective here?
I do actually.
All right, you go first then.
So, first one. So the Ducks wore the reverse retros. I think they're sick. I don't care your thoughts on it because they're sick anyways. I want to hear your thoughts on the Dallas Stars reverse retros. What are your thoughts?
They're not great. They're not. I mean,
give us a Big Eats. If you had to take a bite of that jersey, what would you rate it?
Probably like a 1.5. I don't think.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. When they did the reverse retro release, right? I think they even had the consensus, but like a lot of the teams we were low on included the Red Wings, the Maple Leafs, the Stars, the Islanders, the Jets.
Yep.
I think as a uniform combination, I'll say the entire uniform combination.
Yep.
That uniform combination is worse than the Leafs.
Okay.
It's worse than the Islanders reverse.
I agree with that too. Yep.
But it's still not as bad as the Red Wings or the Jets.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in the bottom like 5.
But it's a bottom 5 reverse retro. I would say bottom 3 reverse retro. Cool. It's really disappointing because there were a lot of teams that absolutely killed it and knocked it out of the park with the reverse retro.
Oh,
and
for
like
sure.
And like the teams who butchered the reverse retros really butchered them. Like
so
really
what's your adjective for Dallas's reverse retros then?
Fugly, is that an adjective? Can I say
we'll count it, take it.
I'd say they're fugly.
Fugly, cool. Okay. My next good bad insert adjective here.
Yes.
Connor Bedard. Is Regina Pat playing in the WHL? I'm surprised you didn't mention him earlier. I'm happy you didn't because he's come up here. Connor Bedard is one of the, if not the first exceptional status rookie in the WHL.
Yes.
One I think he's either the first or one of the first. Plays for the Regina Pats. He has, I think, in 2 games, he got 3 goals and 2 assists. Insane.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my adjective to describe Connor Bedard. That dude is insane.
He will be, I am calling it right now, he will be the top pick in the 2023 draft.
Ooh, that's a good call.
He will be. That's not even a hot take. That's just a fact, honestly.
I don't think that's a...
Yeah. Shane Wright next year, and then Bedard the year after.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that. I mean, fucking, that dude has had a fucking tremendous opening start to a WHL career. One of the best I can remember in a long time.
He's electric and based in Vancouver, North Van.
Yeah, North or West Van?
I think he's actually West Van. He played West Van Academy.
West Van Academy, I think it was.
Maybe anyways, he's from nearby. He's from near home. So
What's
your adjective? Really good?
Insane.
Insane.
That dude is insane.
I like it. Yeah, he is insane.
And I can't think of a better word to describe him.
Cool. I've got my third one here.
Yes.
Okay, so Connor Bedard's obviously insane. So as you mentioned off the top, the SYP bracket challenge, the winner will get White Claws.
Yes.
Tell me your thoughts on the watermelon and raspberry White Claws. Have you tried them?
No,
what do you think they taste like then? What are your thoughts?
Okay, White Claws. I know you should never generalize things in life because that's just lazy. Sure. and that's just bad.
Okay.
I am generalizing White Claws and saying they all taste like carbonated water. That's what they taste like.
Is there one that's better than most?
I don't know any flavors. I honestly I think mango might be a flavor.
Yep, mango's one.
Is
mango, lime, is like ruby grapefruit, black cherry, watermelon, and raspberry. Those are your 6.
Yeah, you see, I would, of all of those flavors, raspberry sounds like the best, but I've maybe had 3 White Claws my entire life, if that.
Okay.
And I couldn't remember or tell you what flavors they were, but all White Claws taste like carbonated water.
Okay, so your adjective for
adjective for White Claws.
Flat.
Dull. Drab. Plain.
Oh, hey, one man's opinion. Fair enough.
Yeah, and again, you're asking the wrong person about White Claws. Like I'm not the guy who should be answering questions on White Claws.
So who's the guy then that should be answering those questions?
Keith and his affection for girly drinks.
There you go.
Like Smirnoff ice.
Smirnoff ice is hard. It's hard to chug though. That's a drink you chug on your birthday.
I don't even. I just drink. I socially drink just to enjoy it. I'm not drinking to chug. Like if you're chugging White Claws, yeah. Again, you shouldn't be generalizing, but I mean, just enjoy the alcohol. Just enjoy being around your friends. You don't need to chug all the time. Just sit down and have a nice conversation. And that's how old I am and boomerish I am. It's just wanting to sit down and have a conversation with people, not trying to chug or shotgun anything.
There you go. Hey, fair enough. Do you have some questions for me?
I have 3 good, bad, or insert adjective here for you. And I'll start with your guy, Justin Thomas, who did not say anything horrible this weekend. He actually won a golf tournament.
He did win a golf tournament. So here's the thing with JT. He's a certified beauty. If you ever listen to his, obviously the thing he said, that wasn't good. That is not a good look on him, but that's not who he is as a person. And I firmly believe that. It's still not good what he said. Whatever. His other mic'd up moments are hilarious. He won this weekend. He won the Players. Super cool. That's when the Island Green and the 18th green, 18th hole that's wraps around the lake kind of thing. Not like Bay Hill. Anyways, that's the course. Super nice course. His dad passed away recently. Oh, sorry, his grandpa, who was very close to him. His grandpa passed away recently. Very close to him. Very influential in his golf career. This is the first one he didn't see of his victories that he didn't see. So he was obviously emotional, and the guy's a beauty. Good for JT. Obviously, like I said off the top, what he said wasn't good. It's inexcusable, obviously. He's still a great player. Still a good golfer, and he won this weekend. So good for JT. He's a beauty.
University of Alabama alumni.
Yes. Justin Thomas. Yeah.
Roll Tide. The next good, bad, or insert adjective here I have for you is the spring weather, because the last 2 days, at least here in Vancouver, it's been gorgeous. It's been a little cool, but it's been wonderful. It feels like spring. It's very nice here. How's your spring weather up in the Okanagan?
Man, honestly, I'm I couldn't be happier. I'm on my bike again. People that know me, I like to ride my bike, and I go for 25, 30 kilometer bike rides when I go. It's a good rip. The sunshine's been spectacular. It's gorgeous here too. I was studying on the deck a couple days ago. We're living the dream. It's beautiful and sunny here. Playing golf this week, so I'm super excited about that. And
Oh, you're golfing this week?
I am, yeah, getting back on the course.
Ooh.
Gonna shake off some rust and get ready for the possible SYP golf tournament.
The SYP Open that will be happening.
To be determined.
Yeah, TBD still on that. Finally, I'm going to ask you about your Bayern Munich football club. They play again Wednesday, so they'll play today when the podcast comes out. Where would I put Lazio? They're playing Lazio. In round of 16. They got a 4-1 aggregate against Lazio. Do you think they're going to win against Lazio?
Come on. Is that a question? Like, of course they are. They're a world-class football club. Obviously, they won everything last year. They won Bundesliga, Super Cup. They won Champions League last year as well. My boys, Bayern's an unreal team, and that Davies guy is one hell of a player. Another BC boy too. Really good guy. Their depth is unreal. They lost Felipe Coutinho. They lost him back to Barcelona. He was on loan from Barca for the year, which helped them. Obviously, he's a great piece, good, solid player. But man, that Bayern their depth is unbelievable, and their bench guys are like notable names, which is impressive. And again, I'm not a huge soccer guy. I'm not like a major expert, but my boys are good, and they're an elite team, no doubt about it. So, Bayern's going to win, and they're unreal. They're a sick team.
Are you going to call your shot and say that they win the Champions League altogether outright?
Well, okay, that's like, I'm going to say that every year. Of course they're going to win every year, but I don't know. There's some
it's wide open this year.
PSG, it is wide open this year, and PSG is looking quite good, especially if Mbappe and Neymar play like they should.
Yeah.
And they score a fuck ton of goals, then
if PSG could actually get their shit together.
Exactly.
Somebody had to say it.
It's again, it's so like last year it was pretty obvious who was going to be. It's pretty obvious it was going to be Bayern, and sure enough, it was. This year, I don't know. It's so up in the air, like you said.
So, good luck to your Bayern Munich squad tomorrow against Lazio. Yep. Mailbag?
Let's do it.
All right, you got the questions.
I do have the questions, and we have viewers. Good job. We have 7 questions. I think that's a record. Good freaking job.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's go in order. Okay. Man, there's a lot of questions here. So Ravisher, hold on, I gotta figure out some of these. Some of these questions were like for your post like a couple of days ago, and some of them are like for this. It's hard to keep track of which is which, but Ravisher asks favorite Canuck, and then you answered Hughes.
Well, no. The actual, like, go to the actual story, and then swipe up on a sticker and check the sticker.
There we go.
I'm not answering why Tyler Mott is more skilled than any Red Wings player again. Because if Rab asks another one of those stupid questions, I will end him. I will find him in Victoria, and I will end him.
Just, hey, dude, take it to box fights in Fortnite. Come on.
I will take it with it. That's personal. I'm not gonna. I'm not a 12-year-old, and I'm not gonna deal with my issues on Fortnite. I'm gonna deal with them mano a mano, man to man.
Hey, fair enough. Okay, so
yes.
First question comes from at K5 and our boy Kevin Renaud, Speak Your Piece creator.
Gang.
The brand. He asks, and this is all of our HK312 fans. You're gonna love this. Kevin asks, how do you do a linear regression? And we're asking Ian this.
So how you do a linear regression is quite simple. And listeners, viewers, let me provide some context here. I have not taken a science class in probably about 5 years. Since grade 10, I haven't taken a science class. And just to also clarify, the last two science classes I took in grade 11 and grade 12 was Chem 11 and Geology 12. So I am an expert on all things science. And a linear regression is like the downhill like model you make. You make it like a slope. It's like going downhill, and you have like all these like scatter plot things. And then isn't like the linear regression is like the middle of that or something? Like when
you're close.
Like
you're
when
close.
you're going like it's on an XY axis.
Sure.
And then the well, I guess that would it actually be from like bottom left to top right, because I guess all graphs should start there. But
the slope, depending on the variables and the data that you have, it can be either a down slope. It just depends on the graph, right? It's very dependent. You were close actually.
Oh,
so it is with a scatter plot. You have a line of best fit, which is like a line that like as closely as possible resembles all the points, because it's not going to always be linear, right?
Sure. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways,
so why is he asking this, and am I helpful in any way?
Probably because we have a bit of a tricky lab assignment, which plus on top of 3 other lectures from the one class alone, and the lectures are an hour long each. So yeah, we have a lot of work this week from that one class, and it's not a pleasant class.
So you have 3 lectures from one class. So one class isn't a lecture?
That's correct. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's a dumb class. Anyways, not important. Kevin asked how we do linear regression. If Kevin wants to know, he can come up to my place. He lives 2 floors below me. He can come find me and ask about how to do it.
And does he have to like say a magic word or do anything to get your help, or he can just come up?
He knows the code to my place. He can get in. It's not a big deal.
And the code to Scott's place is 6026, by the way, in case anybody wants to come in. 6026 to go into Scott's place.
Moving on. So Kevin's brother Keith asks a more relevant question, a question that Ian will probably be able to answer. March Madness teams most likely to get an upset win. Maybe give us 3.
I had Grand Canyon. I actually do think they could upset, but
unlikely.
I have one team, but I won't spoil that team. I'm going to go with Oregon State. I'll go with Oregon State to beat Tennessee. I think there's an upset there.
Shitty Oregon. Okay, got it. Cool.
Shitty Oregon, the Civil War. Just context, Oregon State was predicted to finish 12th in the Pac-12 at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. And they won the Pac-12 tournament outright, and that's how they got their bid.
Wow.
So
what are they going in as? What seed?
They are going in as a 12th seed.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
17 and 12 record. So I have Oregon State, Syracuse. I'm going to say Syracuse because I'm riding with Syracuse. Syracuse is a ride or die.
And you said Grand Canyon as well.
I said Grand Canyon, but to give you another team that isn't Grand Canyon, because we talked about them earlier. Yep. Shout out my boys, Eastern Washington against Kansas. I have no idea where is Eastern Washington in Cheney? Yeah, Cheney. Eastern Washington, the Eagles, I believe they are. They will beat Kansas. So Syracuse, Eastern Washington, and the other team I mentioned, Oregon State. I got some local teams there. What's the next mailbag question?
So Fuji is our good friend of the pod. We played ball with him in the summer. Alex Fujimagari, we all know him as Fuji. He is bored in the house bored. He's asking what are the best shows. He's asking what the best shows to watch, and he says he's quote bored at home.
So do you go for, if you got shows you like to watch, you go first, because I have a kind of a couple.
I have 2 or 3.
Sure.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like GOAT comedy show. Without a doubt, it's top class right there. It's my favorite show. It's like a show I watch when I'm like, hey, what else? There's nothing else to watch. I've seen it like twice already. So I'm like, it's great. Let's just watch an episode when I think it's funny. And yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's good. I know Fuji's a Riverdale guy, so I say Riverdale. Get caught up with it. It's a good show. Based in Vancouver, filming. Good show. And then, I don't know. Man, there's so many good shows out. this point.
So
the 100 is a good show. If you haven't seen that,
I've been told the 100's good. I couldn't get into it, but a few people I know like the 100. I'm just built different. So TV shows, I have 3, maybe 4. So a bunch of people on Saturday were asking me if we're going to do Instagram Live on Saturday night. And I said, no, we're not going to. And then one person texted us, like DM'd us at like 9:45 at night if we're going to do an IG Live. And I said, no, I'm watching World War II in color. And World War II in color is such a good show. And it's better than, this actually happened, people. This is history. This is drama, history, real political power. Real life, real events, yeah. So World War II in color, highly suggest. F1 Drive to Survive.
Oh my god.
No, this is good. This is a really good show. It's really fun. They already have 2 seasons out. The third one is coming out on Friday. Highly recommend that. That's a really great way to get into F1. Like F1 is a really easy sport if you follow like Drive to Survive. If you pay attention to Drive to Survive and you watch that, it's really easy.
I think there's better ways to get into F1.
That's a really
any video game. That's the way to do it, and then you'll get into F1.
The video game is here's the thing. Video game is a bit complicated for like amateurs. You have to really play it a lot to get to know it.
That's like every game, though.
No, but Drive to Survive, you could just watch it for like 12 hours and you already know who hates who and what teams are actual garbage. But Drive to Survive. And then I'll say the third show, at least one show that I really enjoy is Big Mouth. Nick Kroll, Don Mulaney. Yeah. It's really funny. Highly enjoy it. This last season was, I don't think it was still good. But I don't think it was as good as their other ones, but still good. The peak of, I think it was season 3 or season 4, and the peak of the show, the best part of it was, so they are in suburban New York, and they're going into Manhattan to go to the 9/11 memorial. Ground Zero. And basically, at the beginning of the episode, the teacher's just like, okay, guys, I need you to take this seriously. This is an important day. So no gummy arms. And then you just see all the kids like with gummy arms, just like waving their arms back and forth. Like these are all elementary school kids. And it's totally something that I would have done. It's just like, what about gummy? And then one kid's like, what about gummy chest hair? And he opens his shirt. It's just gummy out of the shirt. Great moment.
It's always like when a teacher says don't do something, they're obviously going to do it. Like
yes.
When you're 8, 9 years old, it just happens. You're just going to do it.
So to recap, I would say F1 Drive to Survive, World War II in color, and Big Mouth. Those are my go-to shows. And in case you couldn't tell, I am 46 years old with a mortgage, and that's why I like all of the the F1 and the.
Ian's a hardcore boomer.
I am very much a boomer. Like if you haven't already figured out, like the reason Scott's on the podcast is to give it some sort of youthfulness and some sort of like youth injection where Ian's just like.
I mean, I'm a full year younger than you. Like.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true. So
there's a bit of youth that way. So
bit of youth that way. More mailbag questions.
We've got our guy Jevin. Go check it out. We do this every pod. He's a contributor. So Jevin's asking
if he's trying to be a creator, we could get him something worked out.
No. He's got his own podcast. Go check out Jevin's pod. Jevin actually does a really good podcast. Highly recommend it. Good guy. He's asking about Thatcher Demko. He asked if he should deserve some Vesna discussion and conversation, and will he make the U.S. Olympic team?
So to answer the first question, he deserves some discussion, but he shouldn't get the award.
I'm the same with you, yeah.
Fleury is way more deserving than Demko is of the Vesna at this point.
Vasilevsky,
Jonathan Bernier, clearly.
There's at least 5 better goalies than Thatcher Demko.
Yes.
Without a doubt, that deserve Vesna recognition. He's not a bad goalie. If the Canucks were in the playoffs and it was a lot of it had to do with Demko, different story.
I think Demko is actually a really good goalie, and I think he deserves to be the starter from day one. I just don't think he's Vesna worthy right now.
Yeah.
The U.S. Olympic conversation is really good. I want to have the Olympic conversation again with you at some point here.
Yeah, that's a pod. That's a big pod. Later.
Yeah, I know that'll take we'll probably talk for 2 hours then. I mean, it's obviously between Hellebuck and Gibson.
Gibson's the one. Come on.
Well,
on a team like that,
for the 1-2, it's Hellebuck Gibson
for sure.
And any order, and you're doing fine. You're doing good.
Yep, true.
Third option, I'd say it's a wild card. The third option could be just about anybody.
Just about anybody. Yeah, I was gonna say you could almost throw Jack Campbell in there when he's healthy.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I can't really argue with that. And I mean, probably Demko is the third goalie right now.
Yeah.
It would take a miracle for anybody to overtake Gibson and Hellebuck for 1-2 on the U.S. team.
It won't happen for at least 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. So I'll say Demko is the third goalie for Team USA, but that's a wild card. Anything could happen.
It's gonna be a situation where someone's gonna play their way on the team next year before they live, and that's how it's gonna happen for sure. No,
probably.
So Jevin said yes to both. So I guess we both agreed with him in a sense.
I think yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah. Next question from Jevin. He also has another question from him.
Sure.
What will it take for Ian to buy a Derek Forbort reverse retro jersey from the Jets?
Oh.
How?
You know what was funny? Because Derek Forbort, he got in some shit the other day, wasn't it? Was hitting a Canuck, or did he hit Hoglander, didn't he? And he tried to get into a fight with Hoglander, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, that sounds right. He stood him up right in front of the bench, and Hoglander wasn't happy.
Yeah, something like that. But
yeah. Anyways.
I don't know what the incident is, but I know there's beef between the two of them, and I know everybody's like, "Who the hell is Derek Forbort?" And then me, an intellectual, I won a Stanley Cup with him with the Anaheim Ducks in my GM mode in NHL 19.
Yeah, as your third pairing defenseman?
He's a seventh D man.
Yeah, there you go. He's not even on the team, dude.
So I know who Forbort is. I wouldn't buy his jersey at all. I wouldn't buy his reverse retro. But what would it take for me to buy his reverse retro?
You have to lose that. You'd have to lose a big bet.
I'd have to lose a big bet. You'd have to pay me to probably buy that jersey.
Compensate half of it? Yeah.
Somebody would have to pay me $300 to $500. Here's the thing. The two guys on the Jets I would have bought jerseys for were Hellebuck and Laine's gone.
Right.
So I would only wear
oh man, Morrissey's nasty though. Morrissey.
I don't know.
I would have Morrissey, Stifley.
Neil Pionk.
Yeah, I was in Pionk too. But
here's the thing. I would maybe get a Hellebuck. If I had to get a Jets jersey, it would be a Hellebuck Heritage Classic. The
Heritage Classic jerseys are dope, actually.
Either they're dark blue or an old time Jets jersey.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So that's what I would get if I would get a Jet jersey. To get a Forbort reverse retro, you'd probably have to pay me $500 to $1,000 to take it off your hands.
There you go. Jevin's got a couple $500 for that.
Yeah.
Last question from Marcus Hernandez.
Yes.
He says UCSB, which I'm assuming is University of California, Santa Barbara. Is going deep and going to get into the Sweet 16. What are your thoughts?
I have them upsetting Creighton. I have them winning their first round matchup, but then I have them losing to Virginia. So I don't have them getting to the Sweet 16, but I have them getting to the second round. Though Virginia's absolute clamps on defense. Virginia,
yeah.
Hall
of Fame clamps.
I'm trying to think of the actual comp for Virginia and their defensive talent, and just it's so good, Virginia. So I'll say second round, not Sweet 16, but second round.
So they'll win their first round. They'll upset someone.
They'll upset Creighton.
Cool. I like it. That's the mailbag, people. That's a good job. Send more questions. We love to see the increase. That's That's what we like to see.
Send more questions. Participate in the SYP March Madness bracket challenge. Send us your bracket. Follow SYP College or share in your story. Do both. Do whatever. Just make sure to send us your bracket. Winner gets White Claws. Follow us on social, of course. Follow us on Instagram at SpeakURPs. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes. Hoodies. We're still doing hoodies. Hoodies are coming. We're still working on events. We soon, maybe in about a month from now, I might be able to share our schedule for the spring, summer. In about a month from now, hoodies.
And the thing is so variable too. It's so hard to see what's going to happen. Like vaccine rollout is going quite well, but again, it's still up in the air. We're not vaccinated yet. A lot of our friends aren't. It's everything's up in the air and variable depending on health orders.
Well, and that's why we should probably do the Olympics in Texas, because everything's opening up there, right? And
everything's already opened up.
Yeah,
like,
so
here in Texas, the Rangers are having full stadium for their opening day.
Yep, that's correct.
Which is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
So we might have to do the Olympics in Texas. But anyways, follow us on Instagram at SpeakURPs. Check out the website. I talked about England rugby this weekend and their win over France. They beat France at home. Really good game. Check out the website, Speak Your Piece, the actual proper way to say speakyourpiece.ca. Subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes. Scott, final thoughts, final takeaways before we go here.
That was a good pod. That was actually a very good pod. Go have fun with March Madness. I know you've been looking forward to it for 24 months. Let's have some fun with it. It's a big event coming up. Biggest event probably since the Super Bowl, really.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So go enjoy it. Go Michigan. Go Oregon.
Go Gonzaga. Go Grand Canyon University. App State. Michigan. I got a bunch of teams I'm rooting for.
Go sports.
Go sports. Sports are back. Sports are back.
Are back. That's you heard it here first, folks. Sports.
I'm calling it right now. Sports are. That's the podcast. Thank you very much for watching. As Ron Howard says, please tell your friends, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah? Question mark.
Question mark.
I have we have maybe 1 or 2 more pods, and then I'm going on break for 6 weeks.
I'm going on break. It's a good thing you mentioned this before we go. I'm going on break March 30th, I think. March 30th is my time. We're gonna go off on March 30th. I'm taking at least 2 weeks off, and then Scott's taking 6 weeks off. Scott, what are you doing for those 6 weeks? You traveling? You going to Europe? What are your plans for 6 weeks?
What are my plans? My plans. I'm gonna get slaughtered by school. No, I'm just kidding. I just have a lot of schoolwork, and I want to get out, enjoy the weather in between doing school and stuff, and just again, it's a bit of a lull-ish in sports, so we can kind of afford to do it, and just to really, biggest thing is really focus on school and get through the semester. It's the online school obviously has not been easy, and I'm no exception to that. It hasn't been exactly the easiest thing for me, so just gonna make sure I get it done, get it sorted, and finish with good marks, hopefully. So, yeah.
I love to hear that. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please tell your friends. We'll be back again next week. Peace out.